episode 63 of the Under Review podcast. I am your host, as always, Todd. Alongside me is my co-host, Marty.
Well, I'm trying not to cut my finger. I'll open up one of these fine Chick-fil-A mints with this sharp box cutter, but we'll see how it goes.
I don't understand why I breath mint, but
because my fingers don't work, and these little things are a mother cracker to open.
Yeah.
So I used the sharpest tool I got.
I bet the listeners really like that.
Well, I mean, it happens.
You might have hurt 3 eardrums.
Well, is it too loud or something?
The crackling was.
Can't be. Never mind. Anywho.
Well, episode 63 brings us the last episode of team previews. Finally.
That means we made it a whole year with all the teams.
This year. Last year we only did like 4, I think.
We overthunk it last year as far as just trying to put too much into it.
I put way too much into it. But we simplified it, and we got to where we are now. So, first week of August is this week. So that means football is less than 3 weeks away.
Mm-hmm. That means it's fixing to hopefully start getting colder.
It's pretty cold today.
Oh, it's felt good today. Today's nice. We had Kel's meet the teacher thing, so it was real nice outside.
But, it's happy August. That means it is football season is upon us. If you are an NFL fan, if you are a college football fantasy fan or college football Pickem fan, like I said, hit us up, join our groups. Very fun time for us. I think last year was the first year of college fantasy. I think we're working out some kinks, not really used to it, but it's still pretty fun.
Yeah. Yes, we talked about that. Me and Cody and a couple other guys at work talking about fantasy college, and I do think I have a guy who wants to jump in with us on our Pickem. I'll get you his information.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, if he watches, it's in the description below, and the password's in there, so all you got to do is follow the instructions, and it's easy as that.
Yeah, destruction. That's about how it goes around here.
Yeah, it does. Well, like I said, last 2 teams, Texas A&M and Vanderbilt Commodores, will be kicking us off today. But first, let's step aside and take a word from our sponsor.
This episode of the Under Review podcast is brought to you by Chuck's Heating and Air. Chuck has over 40 years of service and experience with residential services. He services most makes and models. He is Alabama licensed, bonded, and insured, and locally owned and operated. Are you hot and you're supposed to be cool? Are you cool and you're supposed to be hot? Then you've got a problem. Call Chuck. Area code 256-892-2757. Again, 256-892-2757. Chuck's Heating and Air.
Like I said, everybody, Chuck's Heating and Air for all your heating and cooling needs. 256-892-2757. Also want to shout out to Tactical Home and Pest real quick. If you're not following them on Facebook or whatever, go ahead, call him, set you up an appointment. He does some excellent work around my estates, I should say.
Estates.
Yeah. My property.
I figure all them chickens would peck the bugs away.
Oh, you would think, except for flies. What do you got to talk about for today?
Well, we already know one of the coaches poll come out today. Right. And we're gonna jump up a slide and let's kind of walk through it a little bit. First thing I noticed is there's 9 teams in the top 25 from the SEC.
9 out of 16. I see a couple teams here that you wouldn't expect. Iowa State, Kansas State.
BYU.
Kansas State at 20, Iowa State at 22, BYU at 23, Texas Tech even at 24, and then Boise State squeaking in at 25.
I mean, this is a crazy thing here too, because 10 years ago, this would look totally different. You would have your usual powers, but like you said, the BYUs, the Illinois, the Texas Tech, with the way college football is now, I think it's a little more broad where people can get into this. But it's crazy seeing the top 25 when it's, them teams, the BYU, Texas Tech, Washington, and stuff like that.
Well, 1 through 5 as usual. Number 1, Texas. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Penn State. Number 4, Georgia. Number 5, Notre Dame. I don't think they got that wrong.
Maybe Penn
Maybe
State.
I'm about to say maybe Notre Dame. I
Mm,
like Penn State. They brought both running backs back this year. Drew Aller. I think they're a top 3 team at the beginning of the season.
we'll see how that goes. All right, so let's jump down. Let's do. Do you have any bust right here, or do you have any lookouts, like a lower team that could be in that top 5 at some point in the season?
I think an absolute bust here, to me, might be the Michigan Wolverines sitting here at 14. They're starting a true freshman quarterback in Bryce Underwood, who, true freshman coming in, no college playing experience whatsoever. The head coach just throwing him to the wolves right here. I think that might be a bust right there. A lookout team, if I had to take any, like I said, give me that Texas A&M right there at 21.
Yeah, like I said, apparently you got a whole mouthful to talk about them today.
Love it.
Right here, I want to go a little higher up to the 11th spot. I like Arizona State. I like everything they've done. I just don't know week in, week out that they can stay up in this spot. They're kind of giving me the vibes of Missouri last year.
Well, I tell you right there, if this is the AP poll, like this is not this is just the coaching poll. The AP poll will come out in a couple weeks, and that's really what we go by here. But this was just something that we can sit here and talk about for a little bit. With that Arizona State at 11, they are, like I've said before, they are on upset alert week 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's week 1 when they play Mississippi State.
Right. Yeah, well, we had a lengthy conversation with that one when we previewed State. So
yeah, and I like Kenny Dillingham. I really do. I like Sam Levitt, but I just think that something's going to spark with that Mississippi State Bulldogs offense this year.
yeah, if we were playing escalators, Eels, number 17 and number 18, and it stinks they're both in the SEC, but I don't see them staying in the top 25 very long.
And again, like I said, the
Florida and
might
Tennessee
have something different. Yeah.
Right.
But I do say they might fall out before week 3. And that's not based on, maybe not based on losses on one end, but based on play overall. Because they will do that. They might go 3-0 sitting at here in 17 if this was the AP poll, 3-0, and then they still get dropped out because they're not playing to what they think their potential is, and then some other teams can get bumped up in there, like Michigan State's or other teams like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the way I was so fired up. I was at my senior season at Jacksonville State. Was 12-0. Quarterback was eventually won the Heisman and still missed the playoffs.
Oh, must be nice, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
But that's the coaches poll. But now let's get into episode 36 here.
You mean 63?
What'd I say?
36.
I'm dyslexic.
It happens. All right, so before we super jump in on AM, what's your expectations going in for both of these teams?
Texas A&M to have an outstanding season with all the pickups that they have. We'll talk about some here. Another guys that fell through the cracks because, like I said, to me, one of the best built defenses inside the SEC on paper. I've told multiple people this. I have high expectations for this Texas A&M defense, and the question is, can their offense actually hold up?
Their side of the bargain?
Yeah, and not be like 2015, 2016 Auburn with Marlon Davidson and all them guys, Derek Brown, whenever that year was.
So much potential.
Exactly. This defense has that potential rating. Son of a gun, don't get away from me. They have that rating. Yeah.
So, I think here with Vandy, I think this is going – I mean, yes, they have probably the best quarterback tight end combo going into this year. But I think their defense is going to let them down, and they're just going to be back to Vandy ways to a certain extent. Definitely not have as good a year as last year, but I don't think – I think the magic is gone from last year's team.
Now, I can agree with that. I think the magic is gone. I think more teams have a chance to see Diego Pavia and how to figure him out. But like you said, Stowers, the big tight end, Cedric Alexander, they have numerous spots. It's going to be really, but we'll figure out how I and you have to take play on their schedule coming up later on this episode. But now let's get into the nitty gritty. The last team previews, Texas A&M, one that I've been hyped for months for this. Oh, Mike Elko. That's pretty hilarious picture, by the way.
Yeah. The next, I like the Clark Lee one.
That's a good one. You have to really look and see if that is actually him.
Yeah.
Mike Elko is entering his second season here at Texas A&M. 8 wins and 5 losses at an 8-5 record. 5-3 in the SEC. He used to. I forget where he came from before. Anyways, This record covers the 2024 season. His first as a head coach of the Aggies. I think we just all said the same thing in a longer sentence.
Pretty much. That's
okay.
That's AI Google for you. So
he's the head coach. This is his second season. Last year was his first season, 2024.
But
he won 8 games.
10 years ago, but 3 years ago, he was at somewhere else. So who? I know we quit doing the kind of coordinators, but who's his coordinating team? Do you know right there?
Yeah, I really couldn't. Like you said, the reason we quit doing that is because we've had to just hammer down, mostly because some people have been forgetting about it. Must be me. I've had a long.
This. I was about to say I'm ready for football season because I know it might slow down, but I know with high school football starting, how busy we're going to be at work, and we're going back to recording 2 times a week.
Yep. Trooper Taylor is the assistant head coach and running backs coach.
War Eagle.
Jay Bateman is the defensive coordinator, and Colin Klein is the offensive coordinator.
Huh.
Kansas State alum. So,
right.
Yeah.
I did not know that Trooper was there.
I didn't either.
That's a Auburn.
Or you know.
Right. Get the little star thing.
Key departures is wide receiver Noah Thompson, 574 yards on 39 catches and 8 touchdowns last season. Transferred over to Georgia? Sounds right.
Who knows?
He transferred over to Georgia. Shamar Stewart, 31 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 pass breakups, 1 forced fumble, drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals first round. If you've been keeping up with anything NFL wise, this name right here has been coming up a lot. He is the only first round pick that has still not signed his rookie contract deal. I couldn't tell you why, but
well, when you think you're better than the money, because especially you went the first round.
Yeah, but if you're not, you're not. You know what I mean?
Well, true. Well, Tom Brady was almost last, so.
Yeah. And then Nick Scrouton, 37 tackles. You shut up. 5 sacks, 2 pass breakups, 1 forced fumble, drafted in the second round by
the Panthers.
Carolina Panthers.
And good God, they need it.
Yeah, they did.
That's my guys. They just bleh. I wanted to squirrel, but I'm going to. If they can get some better line around Bryce Young, yes, Bryce Young is a really good young quarterback. Get him a little help and somebody to catch the football. It could be better.
I just don't like it. I don't like the hype around him. Never liked him when he was at Alabama.
That's Brittany's favorite. So,
key additions as wide receiver KC Conception, transfer over from North Carolina State. Yes, KC stands for Kevin Conception. KC is short for. KC is short for Kevin Conception. Yeah,
so
don't ask.
So his nickname is part of his real name.
Yes.
And first of all,
Kevin Conception.
So first of all, the last name Conception.
What his mama named him?
Boy, never. Anyway, transferred from NC State with 460 yards on 53 catches and 6 touchdowns. That's a lot of production coming in for this offense.
That it is. And now here's my to me, my biggest piece of this Texas A&M puzzle is T.J. Searcy, transfer over from Florida. 34 tackles, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles last year, 20 solos, 2 forced fumbles. Well, like I said, 1 fumble recovery. This man was the heart and soul, pretty much, of that Florida Gators defense last year.
Yeah, I like Cersei. Cersei's, again, like I said, for Mr. Conception there, Cersei's going to be an intricate part of this defense. I think he can be a leader here, which he has pieces around him, too, where this defense can really be stellar.
And then we're going to talk about the sophomore transfer that's coming over from Washington, Jordan Shaw. He is a 6'1", 180 cornerback, or defensive back, 37 tackles last year, 21 solos, 1 fumble recovery, and 6 pass deflections. And limited – no, not really. Yeah, pretty much limited time from the Huskies over there in Washington. So
hey, I'm starting to lose you.
I know. I hope that went through.
You was going off. I'm ready to go, Mr. Stark.
I hope that went through. So
yeah, like you can edit it.
Right.
But so now to the best part of this is going to be our players to watch for the Aggies.
Starting off with running back Le'Veon Moss. He's a senior. He had a pretty productive year last year. I want to say the injury bug got him quite a bit, but 10 touchdowns, 765 yards on 121 carries. Amari Daniels only had more carries than him at 139 with only 8 touchdowns. But the running back room will be led by Le'Veon Moss if and when he comes back. I know he's been injured, but all signs have proven to say he is coming and being ready for game 1.
Choking to death on that mint.
And then, like I said, the biggest impact for my guys, or for the defense, in my opinion, is transfer edge T.J. Searcy, who is a junior. So maybe one season Texas A&M heads to the draft next year. He was supposed to head to the draft this year, from what I was reading, but wanted one more season, and this time going to be in Aggie land.
This is a Julian. Humphrey. Didn't he come from Georgia?
Yes. Outstanding cornerback, along with him and Jordan Shaw.
Yeah, this is going to be. I see why you can be high on these guys. This defense looks super good on paper, and hopefully it can translate to on the field play, because these are some really, really good guys for this A&M team.
And then some guys, not to mention Sam Mpemba, defensive lineman, sophomore, coming from Georgia. Talked about Cersei. Solomon Williams is a freshman. Who are the other guys? Scooby Williams is a senior coming from Birmingham, Alabama. He's a linebacker.
Scooby!
I want to say he played Texas A&M last year. So, yeah, like I'm telling you, if you're not invested in this Texas A&M team, or even know about what they got and what they're looking like this season, go look them up, because I'm very hyped about this team.
Yeah. And I hope you're not wrong, because I'm ready for it. I just want to see all the little pieces finally, especially their defense. Now, who's throwing the pigskin for them?
That'll be
Marcel
Reed. Yep.
Okay. Not a bad quarterback. Struggled last year, a little injury bug stuff. So, maybe the offseason everybody got healthy and good, because, like you said, I'm starting to get more on your wagon where this A&M team can be really deadly.
All right, so now we're going to flip over to their 2025 scheduling. August 30th, UTSA at home on 6 p.m. on ESPN. Texas A&M.
Is that the Roadrunners?
That's the Roadrunners.
Look at me knowing something. Yeah, I like A&M here as well.
Week 2, September 6th, at home versus Utah State, 11:45 kickoff on ESPN.
Utah
SEC Network, my bad.
Definitely Aggies.
Yeah, they're both Aggies, so which one?
Oh, the SEC Aggies.
Okay. September 13th, week 3. There's a lot of good games week 3, by the way. They're traveling to Notre Dame at a 6:30 p.m. kickoff on NBC and Peacock.
Their games are weird.
It's Notre Dame because you're always going to play on the NBC, you know.
That's just weird that Peacock. I watched a couple games last year and it just didn't flow. But anyway, I like Notre Dame.
See, this is going to be a good one, I think, for this Texas A&M team. You're getting cupcake after cupcake, and then your first real road test is on the road at Notre Dame. This is where, you know, I was talking about earlier about the coaches poll, having Notre Dame up there. You know, I said I agree with it, but, you know, on the other side, I did say I had some issues with them being that high. I think with everything goes right, Texas A&M goes into Notre Dame and beats Touchdown Jesus.
Well, not so fast, my friend. I don't see them going in to presumably a top 5 team. Yes, I think they're going to be good. But I think Notre Dame's going to be a little much for them. Like I said, close game. But like you said, I think Touchdown Jesus always cracks me up. Squirrel. But no, I like the Fighting Irish.
Then they take a bye week, and then they head down to Aggie Land. Excuse me.
They walk across the street.
Yeah, after their midnight yell. September 27th, they're welcoming in Auburn Tigers.
So I think this game, too, is really for both teams, or especially for Auburn, because if Auburn can get past Baylor, I think they'll go undefeated till here. This is where a lot of the people predicting Auburn to get their first loss if you're not already losing against Baylor.
Right.
So
South Alabama and Ball State or something like that.
What?
So, yeah. Uh-huh.
You got Frozy on me.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Slow. Internet.
Could be.
So, I don't know. I love Auburn, but Auburn's so under. I don't know. Maybe when we do the Auburn preview, I'll figure it out.
Right. I think Texas A&M's defense will be too much for this Auburn Tigers team, especially at Kyle Field, which is the top 25 toughest places to play in college football.
That's not cowbells, though, is it?
No. That's
just them dancing cheerleaders and hollering, ain't
it? Yeah.
God. That's.
I mean, I do give the win right here to Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in a pretty good game. But like I said, I think their defense is just going to be a little bit better than Auburn's offense in Week 5.
Yeah, I could see that, but then I just think sometimes if in a perfect world, Auburn, on paper, Auburn has one of the best offensive that you could have with that top 5 receiving core coming in and coming back. Jackson Arnold, presumably one of the best transfers in the SEC for sure. So I don't know.
Right.
Auburn by 3. Alex McPherson wins it.
Saturday, August 4th, they're being back at Kyle Field against Mississippi State. That's Texas A&M.
Yeah, Kyle, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
3 straight home games.
But they go to Notre Dame. That's the only time they're on the road right there in the first 6 games.
Yeah, and then 3 straight away games that we're about to get into.
Okay. Yeah, definitely Texas A&M against State. I think State's going to have a better year than last year. That's what we talked about. Just not as good as this team looks.
Saturday, October the 11th, at home versus Florida. I say Texas A&M by 45.
45?
I say they beat the dog out of them.
Oh, that could. I like State here. I don't know if it'll be 45-3, but definitely like State.
It'd be 48-3.
Oh, well, either or.
You mean A&M, not the State?
Either or.
Right. Saturday, October 18th, their second away game is going to be at Arkansas.
Close ball game, State wins.
A&M.
Dadgummit, yeah. We've only went through it 3 times, A&M.
I say A&M wins here, probably about a good 14-point margin. But, I ain't no better or barely a podcaster, but, And then
Tigers.
What should be the game of the week this week? October 25th, but I know it's probably going to be the Alabama-Tennessee game or something like that. That might be the week before. But at LSU, I'm giving it to LSU. I really am. Like I said, I have high hopes for both of these teams, LSU and Texas A&M. But I have higher hopes for LSU, and to me, it's going to be a high-powered offense versus a very high-powered defense. It's going to be a great game, very low score, and I want to say, but LSU will prevail at what's the name?
Death Valley. How did you forget that?
Long day. I was training today.
I say that forklift use must be.
Then they go on a bye, and then November 8th at Missouri. Oh God, give me
A&M.
And then November the 15th, they're at home versus South Carolina. Give me A&M.
I like A&M, but I think this could be a shootout.
I agree, but I think A&M has more. Yeah. At home, senior night versus Sanford, 11 a.m. That's A&M by 74. And then the big game of the year, Friday, November 28th at Texas, 6:30 on ABC. Could be.
Try the 29th.
No, it's 28th. That says 29th, but ESPN says Friday, November 28th.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody's wrong. Somebody's going to be watching TV. Why tag? Why tag? He's going to start throwing your beer can at the TV.
Oh, dang it. I told you where's my hands. But that is 6:30 on ABC. I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm going to give it to Texas A&M to get their void inside the SEC championship game to rematch against LSU.
I like Texas. Horns up on this one, just to be difficult.
And then we're going to swap over to the last team, number 16, the Vanderbilt Commodores. Or as I like to call them, good old Dandy Vandy.
Vandy.
And there we go. Clark Lee coaching record at Vanderbilt is 16-33. And you wonder why he ain't fired yet.
Well, most of them wins were from last season, so.
Most of them. It still don't make any sense, so. But I think what Clark Lee has done to this team has helped them tremendously, recruiting and all this other stuff. Yeah, it takes some time, especially when you're a smart school like Vanderbilt. But this NIL graduate senior stuff is actually helping them out in a big way that most people don't see. 32% winning percentage here. Bowl game appearance last year, which resulted in a win in his third season, and 2024 SEC Coach of the Year.
Well deserved last year, though.
Yeah, definitely.
From what he brought the program to last year was fun to watch. I mean, especially beating Alabama.
Beating Auburn.
Well, don't remind me I was there. So I don't know. I just I like what, like you said, I like what he's doing in the program. He brought a lot of national spotlight to Notre Dame last year.
Key departures, there ain't a lot on there because, it's Vanderbilt. Offensive tackle Gunnar Hansen transferred over to Florida State, and then defensive lineman Demarion Thompson transferred to Oklahoma State, 35 tackles and 1 sack. That's pretty much it. Sorry.
Yeah, I noticed when I was putting that together, I was like, there's only 2 on this list.
So hard. Key additions, 2 defensive backs here. Carson Lawrence, 216 nationally ranked player. Only top 250 player they signed last year. And then defensive back C.J. Hurd transfer over from FAU, 80 tackles, 1 pass breakup, and 1 forced fumble.
This was, not a whole lot of shine, and, they really didn't jump super into the recruiting, or I say they did, but just not a lot of top players were looking to go there. Yes, they bring back 2 of the best, like I talked about earlier, one of the best quarterback tight end duos in the SEC, maybe the country.
Maybe. That's quarterback Diego Pavia, who is a senior. Tight end Eli Stowers, who's also a senior. And then a name that you should know by now, but if you don't follow Vandy, you probably don't. And that is Nick Rinaldi, a senior. Nick Rinaldi had, where was he? I just had him up. 52 total tackles, 6 sacks last year, 2 fumble recoveries, and 35 solo tackles.
That's getting after it.
Yeah. And it's a good big old boy, too. But, shut up with my chickens. But, like you said, the Pavia to Stowers is going to be probably the best duo quarterback tight end of probably all of the SEC, maybe that or Nussmeier to Bauer Sharp. I don't know. That plays out.
I just, like I said, there's just not as, I thought there'd be a little more hype around this Vandy team. Maybe if you lived in Tennessee and were up there, but nationally, everybody's wanting the Pavia train, and he got offered tons of money. I've seen some interviews and stuff with him, podcasts, that he was offered bukus of money for other places, but I guess the money bags are a little bit heavier in Tennessee. But I just, like I said, this season, once we get into the schedule, you'll see why. I just don't think that they're going to have 8-9 wins this year.
All right, that's going to be starting off on August 30th at home against Charleston Southern, 6 p.m. on ESPN+. I think that is a win by Vandy.
Mm-hmm.
Week 2, September 6th, they travel to Virginia Tech at 6:30 on the ACC Network. That is going to be Virginia Tech, my friend.
I like the Hokies. Beamer ball.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah, Beamer 1.
And then Beamer 2 next week.
Yep.
At South Carolina, September 13th. I think South Carolina's going to win that one. I really do. I think starting here 1-2 for this Vanderbilt team is really going to put them in shock and realize this is not the same team as it was last year.
Right. But then I think they get a little relaxed the next 2 weeks, get wins at Georgia State on the 20th, and then you go to Utah State on the 29th.
That's all.
They get a little bit more confident, but then they're traveling to Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Mm-hmm. October 4th. I think that's going to be – Alabama's looking for revenge, let me tell you.
If they don't beat them by 600, it'll surprise me.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say, give me Alabama by 3 or 4 touchdowns in this game because they want to shut him up.
And if they don't Roll Tide Willie, and Roll Tide Billy is going to explode.
Oh, yeah.
I won't have a house because Brittany will just lose her mind and just –
I think we might have Roll Tide Billy set up for that week, too.
I do. That's what I mean. So, speaking of that, I ran into Kevin this weekend at the kids' party. He said he talked with you. He's super excited to get in with us. So, shout out to him and his guys. CMC, I believe he said they all listen. They all gathered around the campfire and whatnot and listened to us 2 idiots for a good hour. So, shout out to these guys. Thanks for all your listenings.
Well, I mean, that was one of our surprises this year, but thank you.
No, it's not a surprise.
It was a surprise to our fans.
To who?
To our fans.
Well, edit it out then.
Then October 18th, they play at home against LSU. Again, LSU by 4 or 5 touchdowns in that game. I think they might get a win right here against Missouri. I think it's going to be a close game on October 25th. It's really going to be close, but I think Vandy might squeak this one out.
Is that a rivalry game up there since they're both Tennessee? Shut up, Marty. Just keep going.
At Texas A&M on November 1st, I get Texas by 4 or 5 touchdowns. Then they play at home against Auburn on November 8th. I want to say Auburn. I really do.
I think it's too much Auburn offense. Hopefully Auburn's got it figured out by then.
I don't think Vanderbilt has a defense to stop mostly any team inside the SEC. I really don't. Even Tennessee at the last week or Kentucky, I really don't. So I feel like Auburn's offense is better than Kentucky's at least. So
I hope so.
If I have him losing against Kentucky, I gotta have them losing against Auburn. So there's 2 more losses right there for Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
And then at Tennessee in Knoxville, I give it to Tennessee. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 3.
Maybe, like I say, that's what's going to stink, because if this does play out like this, it's going to kind of put a damper on what they did last year. Because then you turn around the year after that, the next 26 season, Stove's gone, Pavia's gone, and
Ronaldo's gone.
And is that going to start the whirlwind?
Colin Lee could get fired this year, honestly. If they go what we just said, he might get fired because of the talent he's losing as well. Yeah. But we won't know that until the pot starts stirring, probably around the Auburn game.
Yeah, well, you know.
But that's all we had for you today. Now we're getting into our last semifinal game to see who faces who inside the finals.
It says quarterfinals, but I just can't read good.
It happens. Number 2, Georgia versus number 14, Auburn. Hold on, let me get the drum roll.
Super hard one.
Wasn't for me.
It wasn't for me, but
here it is. Your winner is the Auburn Tigers. Moving on to the finals. Number 14, Auburn. Over 300 votes. What's the difference?
So how many? So like 333 to 30 or something?
350 to 33 or something like that.
And like I said, I'm telling you, this is not me and Todd picking these, especially because it is Auburn. These are you guys. These are your fans. These are not just. It's if you don't like it, you can change it by doing your vote.
I did my part.
Yeah, I didn't do shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love that meme.
The last semifinals brings us number 5 LSU versus number 8 the Ole Miss Rebels. Like I said, this Tiger head, infamous, but I love Smoking Joe right there, or whatever his name is.
I think it's actually Old Rib.
Well, good for him.
Woo.
But I like the Ole Miss one. I really do. I think it's going to give a better. I think the finals was last week in Auburn and Georgia. I really do. But we'll find out who everybody votes on, and we'll talk about it next week.
To see. Vicky.
But that's all we had for you guys today. Kind of ran about normal. But like you said, I want to thank the wives for everything that they do. I want to thank God for bringing us here for another week to let us to talk to y'all. And Hunter Brassfield, who's at the beach, he sucks.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Yeah. I don't like cracking my saying, so.
Well, that's.
Jud Dickinson, Brandon Trammell, Cody Mailer, who'll be back in a couple weeks. So, with all that being said, follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, everything that you can think of. We're there. And, Marty, you got something?
I can't think of anything.
All right. Well, with all that being said, we'll see y'all next week as we go under the monitor.